Now, it's your forecast first from Storm Team 9.
Well, it's been a beautiful day of weather outside today. We had lots of sunshine to start with, but then the clouds started to fill in, and then those temperatures are still nice and mild today. We're still sitting nice and mild. We're at 70 degrees in Kinston, 72 in Goldsboro, and 72 degrees in Kinston. Current local radar is looking nice and quiet tonight. As for the whole east coast of the United States, is looking nice and quiet despite just a few clouds moving through the area. But all the rain can be found off to our south and west. For tonight, those temperatures will be in the 50s. Tomorrow, they'll be in the 80s with lots of sunshine and a little bit of cloud cover too. And we'll also talk about some rain chances next week. The longest running newscast in the East starts now.
On your side, this is WNCT 9 News at 10 on Eastern North Carolina's CW.
We're tracking several stories this Saturday night. Hurricane season is here. What experts are saying we can do to prepare now on this first day of the new season. Plus, former president and now convicted felon Donald Trump is on the attack after the guilty verdict in the so-called hush money trial in New York. And back here in the East, Pamlico County school leaders say county commissioners could cut up to $1 million from the budget. But we start here in East Carolina with baseball on the official television station of Pirate Athletics. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at 10. I'm Sarah Gray Barr. The Pirates are still alive tonight in the NCAA Greenville Regional after a walk-off 7-6 win over in-state rival Wake Forest. ECU was up 4-1 in the top of the ninth, but Wake Forest came back to take a 2-point lead. But it was the Pirates rallying in the bottom of the ninth, winning on a walk-off grounder RBI. They will now face VCU tomorrow in another elimination game. And Pirate Nation is excited to be able to watch even more regional baseball here in Greenville this weekend. Some fans say it's one of the greatest times of the year, and it's even better when you're in one of the greatest spots in all of college baseball, Clark LeClaire Stadium.
Well, I'll tell you, there's something special about Pirate Nation, and when we get a chance to come all together and for an event like this, look, this is a dream that LeClaire had, and we're living through it. I mean, there's nothing better, man. This is the greatest day of the year.
Fans say they hope the Pirates can keep the winning streak going now so they can make it to the Super Regional and even possibly to Omaha for the first time ever. There's also lots of high school championships we're covering tonight. Green Central is bringing home the state championship in baseball after beating Burns. The girls soccer team from Jacksonville also bringing home a state championship. They beat South Point in penalty kicks today. Zach Kaplan will have more from these games and our other teams appearing in state championships, along with ECU's win here in Greenville. That's all coming up in sports at 11 over on WNCT. Pamlico County schools could lose $1 million from the county budget. Now the superintendent is asking for parents to go to this week's county commissioners meeting. Superintendent Dr. Jeremy Johnson says he's attended several meetings with the commissioners about the budget. He says in the most recent, multiple commissioners said they feel schools do not need to be funded properly. Johnson is asking parents to attend the next meeting to support the school system. That meeting is set for 7 o'clock Monday night at the Pamlico County Courthouse. New tonight, across the state, one person is hurt after a small single-engine plane crashed in Franklin County. Officials say it happened just after 5 o'clock this evening near Crooked Creek Airport. That's near Bunn. The pilot, an 80-year-old man, was alone on the plane. Franklin County officials say he has moderate injuries. They say they are planning to do a full investigation into what exactly happened to this plane. And we're learning new details tonight about the deadly shootout that killed 4 law enforcement agents in Charlotte last month. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police confirm only one shooter was involved. Investigators also say there is no evidence any of the responders hurt or killed in that shootout. They were hit by friendly fire. Police report more than half a dozen officers were shot at by the suspect as they tried to rescue other wounded responders. The suspect eventually jumped from a second-floor window into a front yard where he was killed.
Officers heard active gunfire and they made a tactical decision to utilize suppressive gunfire so the officers could evacuate our wounded.
Investigators say the suspect used his assault-style rifle during the shootout. They say he did not use the handgun he was carrying at that time. Reaction continues to pour in after former President Donald Trump's historic criminal conviction in New York. As Christian Benavides reports, the verdict comes just a few weeks before this month's presidential debate.
Now a convicted felon, former President Donald Trump is vowing to fight the verdict handed down this week by a New York jury.
We're going to be appealing this scam.
He was found guilty of 34 felony counts for falsifying business records, trying to hide a sexual encounter with an adult film actress. Trump's sentencing is scheduled for mid-July, just days before the start of the Republican convention, where he'll be formally nominated. His attorney, Todd Blanche, spoke to CBS's Robert Costa.
Is it possible your client could be in jail during the Republican National Convention?
It's possible. That's something that I don't want to think about. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's possible, of course.
President Joe Biden has emphasized the case was brought by the state of New York, not his administration, as Trump has falsely alleged.
And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
November's election will likely come down to 7 states that could swing to either candidate. Voters we spoke to say the guilty verdict does not change their vote.
I'm very happy that they got convicted.
I'm still voting for Donald Trump. I think this whole thing has been a mockery.
Trump's campaign and the Republican Party claimed they raised nearly $53 million in the hours after the former president was found guilty. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
Trump has 30 days to file an appeal. The appeals process in New York is likely to be lengthy, and legal experts say appeal court judges likely wouldn't hear arguments until next year. The CDC is confirming a third case. A third person now has a case of bird flu. They also say this person is showing respiratory symptoms. This is related to the ongoing outbreak of the virus in dairy cows. It's also the second case in a dairy farm worker in Michigan. Federal health officials say the latest person with the virus became directly exposed to the infected cattle. They say there's still no evidence of human-to-human spread. And here in our state, a Triangle pharmaceutical company is now helping address these bird flu cases. CSL Seqirus will make nearly 5 million doses of bird flu vaccines at their Holly Springs facility. The company says they're working on prevention and making their vaccines available to those who are most at risk.
And these are for administering vaccines potentially to those that are directly interfacing with the animals that have avian flu.
The company is also working on clinical trials to test the safety and effectiveness of bird flu vaccines. And back here in Greenville, the Neighborhood Business Services Department and the Compress and Shock Foundation held a hands-only bystander CPR and AED class today. This helps educate people living in Greenville how to respond to a sudden cardiac arrest. The event today was put on by Tony Arker and his wife, who saved his life during a marathon when he suffered a cardiac arrest.
So we take this dog and pony show on the road as much as we can. It's that important because a little CPR can save somebody's life.
Yes. Parker adds it's important to educate people about this because the current survival rate of a cardiac arrest is only 10%. Yet that rate could triple if more people knew what to do during those situations. Also in Greenville today, Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, along with Bear Garden Animal Rescue, partnered together with the American Red Cross to host a community blood drive. The Red Cross donated $10 to the Bear Garden Animal Rescue for every unit of blood collected. These funds will go toward expenses paid to help the medical needs of the animals they save.
Support the cause of those that do not have it, but also to promote Bear Garden Animal Rescue. They are a super amazing animal rescue that rescues cats from all across eastern North Carolina. So it's just overall for a good cause.
You know, the American Red Cross saves lives, but also Bear Garden Animal Rescue is a 501c3 licensed animal shelter, and we save around 30 to 50 animals a month that are in kill shelters or are sick. We've taken in several over the past few days who are critical.
Next week, the Animal Rescue will be hosting an adoption event at PetSmart. For more information about that event, just head on over to WNCT.com. And in Kinston, dozens gathered today for a charity motorcycle ride. It benefits an organization called Raising Awareness for the Developmentally Disabled, or RAD. The ride started at Boneyard Harley-Davidson in Winterville, made stops at the NC State Veterans Home and the Caswell Developmental Center, and ended at historic Granger Stadium in Kinston. That's where the group then played a game of baseball with the Down East Wood Ducks. Organizers say this annual RAD ride always brings the community together.
Really fun community event for everyone. It's really important because it sheds awareness on the IDD population here and surrounding areas, and it's just really important to share that information, to let everyone know that it's fully inclusive and our population is important too.
For their continuous work in Kinston, the city is declaring June 1st as RAD Day. Still ahead here on WNCT 9 News at 10, hurricane season is officially here. We'll tell you what experts are saying you can do before a storm hits.
And up next, your complete Storm Team 9 7-day forecast. We have all the details about some rain chances next week.